Hello and welcome to Sibling Filmalry. I'm Donata,
I'm Reggie.
and it's super early in the morning on August 29th. We had already decided to record a Sibling Filmalry before the news broke last night that Chadwick Boseman has left us and gone to his earthly home. So we could not do an episode and not talk about Chadwick first. Reggie, I'll let you kind of roll off some of his cinematography credits, and I'll kind of talk about his earlier life.
Okay. Well, he's been in a lot of stuff, and he's been playing a lot of famous individuals. So we all know his most famous is the Black Panther, obviously. But he also played a lot of famous people, historically famous people. So he played Thurgood Marshall.
In Marshall, yeah.
Played, huh?
I said in Marshall, yes.
Marshall, yeah. He also played Jackie Robinson in 42, and he also played James Brown in Get On Up. Um, I think those are all like the famous people that he played. Did he play? Did he play Jesse Owens or something like a track guy? Maybe not. Okay. So anyway, but I think that even though he was um in a few movies, I think he was really kind of just coming into his own like right
Yeah.
now. I
Yeah.
think Marvel kind of put him over the top, but I mean, obviously those movies were good. He did a good job, but I think getting into the realm of comics, which is like the big thing these days for the last 10, 15 years actually. Um, it's been the thing, but he was a good actor all around. I mean, some of his credits um, that movies that he played in that are not when he played historic characters or Black Panther that I really like. I like 21 Bridges was really good.
21 Bridges was a good movie.
There was a Netflix, wasn't it? Or I
I
don't
feel
think.
like it was a Netflix movie.
And he also played in some that were not so great. He played in Gods of Egypt, which was horrific. I didn't even know he was in. I saw it, but
You know what? I rewatched that on the cruise this past year when I went with my mom, and that movie was he played one of the tall guys in Gods.
yeah,
Yeah, yes, he did.
he had a lot of TV credits too. He was in The Glades, which was a short-lived series, which actually was pretty good. I think it only lasted one season, but it was really good. Justified.
Lincoln
Um,
Heights, I think.
huh?
Lincoln Heights.
Lincoln Heights. Yep. So I mean, like I said, he was in a lot of stuff, but it's sad anyway when anybody passes away. But like I said, he was an up and coming actor. I mean, he wasn't young, he's 42, but
43,
he
I
was
think.
really becoming a superstar, really. I think so.
So like as the pandemic started to grow, Netflix dropped The Five Bloods.
Mhm.
And that was probably one of the most recent movies that he had been released that he was in. And that's been talked about a ton. Spike was doing a kind of tour, media tour on that movie. And then we were excited because if you watch Netflix's documentary on Kevin Hart, you saw him and Kevin Hart chopping it up, meeting about, so like, let me just like break it down for people that may not know. Like there's only a few movie/television shows that just really shows off Black excellence. And Black Panther is one of them. Like it's just one of those movies that, we're regal. We're looking, it's all the tribes, the differentials of how Africa plays out. It's just a beautiful movie. But another one of those movies, and it also goes back to Africa, is Coming to America.
Mhm.
Um, that's a huge movie too. And I think like a movie with super swag and just like a cast of characters and people just looking dapper is all get out. It's Harlem Nights. And so when Kevin Hart was topping it up on his documentary and they were talking about redoing Harlem Nights and kind of doing something like that, I was getting excited because Chadwick had seemed like he was on board. And I was excited to see what that would look like. And now, that may not happen. So I'm just I was sad. I actually cried because I think Black Panther meant so much to kids.
Mhm.
Um, and it is one of the, Marvel has, 20 plus movies, and Black Panther is definitely in the top 5 of those movies in terms of um, just it's a good storyline. It's a fantastic action, and we just look so fly. I mean, we just he,
Yeah, I mean, when you when as a a black person, when you see, like you said, not only it didn't seem like, I mean, and I'll be honest, maybe I'm you know not I don't know, not pessimistic, but I was skeptical that they would put the effort into it to make it a really good movie. And it's one of the best Marvel movies, and I'm not saying it just because I'm really honest. I mean, you guys seen our other episodes. I don't pull punches no matter what. So I was pleasantly surprised. I won't say very surprised, but pleasantly surprised at how well it was done. It was done really well. Um, and it made me proud, and it made a lot of people of color proud. So, and he was perfectly cast, I think.
yes, he was.
So, it's funny because it was almost one of those um the Joker and the second Batman, who was his name? I can't remember.
Oh, Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger. When you heard that he was going to be the Joker, you're like, what? I had seen him in other stuff. I thought he was a good actor, but I was like, I mean, he was not going to be able to pull it off. And I was kind of the same thing with Chad, like, God, him. I was thinking like a Wesley Snipes or
Wesley Snipes.
I mean, I'm thinking like a big time actor or whatever. I mean, I really was saying like think of as far as action's concerned, but like after seeing it, I was like, man, I don't think anybody else could have done it better. So anyway, so
He was
yeah,
great.
I was sad too, and of course, like I said, I'm always sad when anybody has, especially like from a horrible disease like cancer, and I had no clue that he was
Zero.
that he was fighting it. So
And
anyway.
fought it through the filming of many of the movies.
Mhm.
And that's much appreciated. And, our hearts are out to his family. And I just would like to say, like, people don't know, we're from Charlotte, North Carolina. Um, and he's from Anderson, South Carolina, not far from here, actually not far from where our other siblings live. And he went to Howard University, HBCU pride. I'm an Aggie, but we still have a love for Howard. Um, I wanted to like say this, and I don't know if this is gonna start a campaign, but I really want to encourage the Carolina Panthers. They had a really super strong opportunity to invite Chadwick to come to a game as a Carolinian,
Mhm.
and as a Black Panther, which Carolina Panthers are are Black Panthers, to come out and either be himself or do something really cool with Sir Purr and out there on the field as Black Panther. And I just want to encourage them. I don't know what the NFL season will look like this year, but I really hope that they do something maybe beyond a Instagram post and do something really special at a game for the legacy of Chadwick as well as the legacy of Black Panther. Because I just think that he had one movie left. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know where they were in filming. And I know that his sisters, according to the comics, Reggie have to school you on that. I think she was already going to become Black Panther anyway, because you eat the herb and but yeah, I just hope the Panthers do something really, really special for a Carolinian that grace the screen with so much elegance, pride, and swagger, because he did a really good job in playing any character he stepped into. And I just, as a Carolinian, I just want to say thank you, Chadwick. And I last night I was taking a nap and I woke up and it all happened. I just wanted to run outside and just shout, Ebon Bay! I mean, because he really made us feel like when they start shouting, it was going down, and everybody was crossing their arms. It was because of and just to say for the Marvel movie makers, because you all did take the time and spent the money, you made and just really did a good job. You made us have a lot of pride and it made us want to own that movie experience. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta give them props, to the execs of Marvel, and it was taking a chance. They took a big chance because, you know, it had historically you don't see a.
I don't necessarily. Well, okay.
I mean, you got
I
Blade.
would say because Tyler Perry kind of broke that model. Like we come out for us,
Right. That's true. No, but and we always do. But what I meant was
that is a different type of movie.
Right.
Targeted for Black women.
And it does something that we all talk about in our community a lot is crossover.
Yeah.
This movie crossed over. I mean, like you said, we're always going to come in and support ourselves. I mean, we even we came out to see Soul Plane, so we'll do anything for ourselves, right?
We're gonna see Kevin, regardless of
what
it has.
But I just think that to put that much money in it was a risk, and it takes it. That's why they make the money that they do. They pick the right director, they pick the right writer, they pick the right cast. The
and
vision
costume
that
designer, because I read about her. I've watched a lot of interviews about just how they made the movie, and the costume director. Mm-hmm. She's won different I think Grammy Awards and things like that. Just she's very, very good. So she handmade I think all of those costumes.
See, it's I don't know. It's just a lot of stuff that goes behind it that people don't think about. But anyway, I have to give them some props for and I feel like it was taking a risk. And it came out marvelously. Well, let me ask you, how would you handle it from here? Would you recast, or would you just go ahead and accelerate the sister becoming? Because from what I read, he was gonna, like you said, one more movie, and I think they were trying to get him to do at least one or two more, and then they were going to try to transition over to a sister, which that follows the comics, and I mean, she's not Black Panther now, but just in the comics, I mean, so it's just kind of goes back and forth. But would you recast, or would you just go ahead and accelerate that, her taking the mantle?
So the only example I can think of in my head that this kind of sort of happened to is, I would say, one, it depends on how much they filmed already. Mm-hmm. If they can make it a good transition, I would say, what's two examples? I would say, okay, I think an okay job was done with Paul Walker in Fast and Furious. I think they had enough of him and they could use his brother's likeness to make it a seamless transition, and they had a very beautiful ending to the movie. And I think I couldn't stop crying. And I think all the fans felt that, and it was cool. I think if they can do the same thing with him, I think it can be done great. I have seen it on another hand with the Me Too movement and Kevin Spacey and the whole thing with House of Cards, and they kind of transitioned to his wife being the president, and it didn't go so well.
I don't think it went well at all.
It didn't go so well.
But you couldn't recast that one. You couldn't. There's no way.
Could not have recast that part. But can we have gotten like a little bit of him or something? Right. It was just zero of him, and I think because it was zero of him, and it was just like Francis dead, and you like, wait, what happened? And it
right.
was right. So it just was very difficult to understand that transition. So I sincerely hope that they have some footage, whether they can use it from an older filming from Civil War or from first Black Panther, that they can utilize to make a smooth transition. Because the sister has fans. I mean, we love her. She is cutie patootie, and she is really dope, and we enjoy her a lot. And I think people would get behind her. So I don't think that that's a problem. And I think, and let me just say this, I think people like Claire, the character in House of Cards. It was just different without seeing Francis on the scene, on the screen or whatever. So, but I think that I hope they just have some footage. I really like the way the Fast and Furious did it.
Yeah. The only thing I would say is, and I hope this doesn't come out wrong, but sometimes characters are meant to be, I don't want to say it like a sidekick, but meant to be like complimentary. So and like I said, I think that's what happened with Claire. Claire was the perfect complimentary character, but I don't think she pulled off being the main character. And I don't and let me put it this way. I'm not saying that she couldn't have if it just wasn't written right, in my opinion. So the way she was portrayed from the very first episode of House of Cards to the season before Kevin Spacey got let go. I mean, was as a supporting character, like a really. Now, when I say supporting, I mean like he may be 51, she's 49. You know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean? Like or 50, he may be 51 and a half, and she's 50. Whatever, she's right there. But I just don't think she pulled off because of how they wrote her. I don't think that she just didn't pull it off to me. And I just wonder if the like you said, the cutesy, the funny is gonna work. Like, he really wasn't funny. You know what I mean? Like as like he was a serious person, and the way she kind of brought balance, because she would pick at him, and then it was funny because he was a serious guy. And
but we've seen this work in the new Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's true.
So we've seen it work in the new Spider-Man. And then if you have characters around you, like the other women fighters, I think it may even it out.
Yeah. I mean, this is my whole concern is, I just don't want the French. I want them to do it right. Now, I'm not saying that it can't work with her, because I like her, but I just want them to put as much effort into doing it right. And I'm sure they will, because I'm sure that I think the guy who directed the first one was going to be directing this one, if I'm correct, the second one. I'm sure he wants to do it right, because it's a lot of pressure on his shows to make it good. You don't want to fall off, because for the most part, all of the Marvel movies and all of the sequels, with the exception of probably, in my opinion, Thor, except for the third Thor was really great in my opinion, have been good. I mean, I can watch any of them all the way through anytime, except for like Thor. I didn't really like the first Thor or the second Thor really, but the third one was great. But any other one, Ant-Man 2, I liked all of them. So I just don't want them. I just want to make sure the franchise still flourishes. That's my main thing.
Gotcha. All right, well, we're going to wrap it up. You can catch other reviews at siblingfilmalry.com. And also subscribe to our channel, and we'll miss you, Chadwick.
All right. Wakanda